Hey YouTube, I'm gonna do a quick tutorial on how you can melt your hair bar. So this one is the Genesis Herbal Garden. This is the coconut butter, and this one is good for length retention. As you can see, it is super hard. I won't say it's super hard, but it's a little dense texture. See, there's not really any coming up, so you just grab a pot of this size, or you can use a water kennel, and of course plug it in and then let the water cool down just a little bit, and then you can add it into your pot, and you can turn the stove on just a little bit, but you're probably not even going to need that. If you don't have a water kennel, then you can just grab a pot, or even a cup of hot water and put it in a bowl. But if you have a pot and you're at home, just grab a little bit of water, not too much, and then you're just going to turn the stove on, put it to the lowest heat. Between 2 and 3 is okay. And then go ahead and place the bar in there. You don't want to put too much water in there. Do not fill it up to all the way to the top right here, because you don't want any water to fill in, and you don't want any water to get in here. Also, since you guys are watching this, when you get our hair bars, we do not fill it up to the top right here, because that is a safety hazard. Because these hair bars do melt during transit, because they melt during transit, we don't want you guys to take the top off, and you're in the car or you're at home and you bump yourself and it spills and it's warm oil on you. Like, even if it feels good to you, like, we just don't. People have very sensitive skin, so we don't want. We just want you guys to stay safe. So I've been using this, of course, so it's not right here. We do put more, but we stopped filling it up to like right here. So this is how much you would actually get right here. So yeah, so you can just leave it in there. It's not gonna melt the whole thing. It's just gonna just heat up just a little bit. So you can just wait for about 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, maybe like 5 minutes. Because it's on lower heat, it may take a little longer. It'll be faster if you have a water kennel, but if it's sunny where you are, you can just go outside for a little bit and it can heat up like that. But honestly, if you go here, if you put it in here and you walk away and you go do something, by the time you come back, it's going to be melted. Again, also, you want to make sure you keep an eye on it, because it's already starting to get warm, because it's plastic. This is a plastic bottle, so you really want to make sure that the water is at a good temperature. See, it's already heating up. So the water's, and again, you don't want to get water inside, so make sure you don't splash yourself, or make sure you don't splash the water inside. If you get a little drops, it's cool, but just make sure it's just not flooded with water. And just make sure that it is on low heat, and you don't want to burn the bottom. You don't want a hole down here, because that's going to be, oh no moment, so yeah, just give it a few minutes. It's going to heat up, and it's going to heat up pretty fast. When you get our hair bars during transit and it's a little melted, you can always pop it into the freezer for about 15 seconds, and it should get back solid super fast. And then once you pop it in the freezer for a little bit, you can then put it in your bathroom, and keep it in a cooler area. Once it cools down after being in your house for a few minutes, it will go back to, once it cools down, it's going to go back into a solid. So you don't have to worry about it being melted. Also, see, it's already warm. It's super warm on the bottom. Now, since it's warming up on the bottom, you guys can kind of see the oils already, loosening up down there. On this side, it's loosening up. It starts from the bottom and then it works its way to the top. Sorry. So as you can see, now it's starting to loosen up. So it is starting to look. So now you are able to start picking some up. Again, like we put on the site, the longer you leave it in the water, the looser it's going to become. So you also do want to make sure you keep an eye on that. But as you can see, now it's starting to loosen up. You can see the oils and stuff. Yeah, you can see the herbs in there moving. Yep, it's starting to loosen up. If you end up like stepping away and you forgot that you had it on the stove and you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot, you could always just take it off immediately, pop it in the freezer for a little bit. That hot and cold temperature is not going to affect the product. It's not going to make it not work. It's going to work. It's going to be effective. This hair bar in particular, the Genesis Herbal Garden, is made for your ends. So yeah, if you guys see, it is way more looser now. So it's way more looser now. See, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just take it out. But that is how you guys that is how you heat up our hair bars. So as you can see from the bottom, it's now more of a looser texture. So you can start scooping some up. Again, like I said, the longer you let it sit, the looser it becomes. But just make sure you don't keep it in the pot for too long, because you don't want it to get too loose. But if it does, because you forgot, you could always pop it back in the freezer for about 5 seconds. Let it get a little bit back to this texture. And don't worry, like when you melt it, like it's not going to instantly go back into a solid. It's going to take its time. But like if you keep it on the stove for about 10 minutes, it's definitely going to be loose. So it's going to take longer for it to get back into a solid, even if you were to put it in the freezer. So definitely don't leave it on the stove for past 10 minutes. At least a good 3 to 5 minutes, it should be the good time. Thank you guys for watching. Shoot us an email if you have any more questions at God's Chosen Hair Care. That's lowercase GODS, chosen hair care at yahoo.com. And just an FYI, the lowercase g, we don't do lowercase, we do uppercase, but on Yahoo they only allow us to do lowercase. But lowercase God's Chosen Hair Care at yahoo.com. Also hit us up on IG, Instagram, God's_chosen_hair care. Also on TikTok and YouTube, God's Chosen Hair Care. And thank you guys for watching, and can't wait to see your guys' order.